Take them all together, correct?
Absolutely. All the products can be taken together, and best to be always taken with food, because that's only best absorbed. But things like green foods could be opened. You could empty virtually any powdered capsule into a smoothie or into yogurt or something like that. So it depends on which products you're talking about, but most of them, all the powder capsules, are freely soluble and can go in a smoothie. Most of them could go in water and even soluble in water at room temperature. So it depends on the product, but they're all ultrafine powders in a capsule, so they should be easy to disperse in any liquid.
Cindy, thank you so much for that wonderful call. Your compliments, your comments are so valued by us, and I know so meaningful to Andrew and his team. They mean the world.
And for me, as much as I like to take credit for every positive experience someone has when they're enjoying the benefits of my product, the real benefits of my product are that we're providing the nutrients, the things that we're likely not getting from our diet.
Yes. In
terms of Ultimate Eye, the lutein and zeaxanthin that we're not getting because in the U.S. diet, it's not a common nutrient in the typical American diet. So as much as I like to take credit, I generally tend to shy away from that.
And just so you know, because ultimately there's only so much that can be said or spoken about on television, and you'll notice, I'm sure, how accurate Andrew is with absolutely everything he says and how he wants to make sure that you get the utmost important, accurate information home to you. I would ask you, if you have a moment to spare, to read the reviews. Cindy talked about Ultimate Eye Support and her experience. Amazing, truly fantastic, and we're thrilled for those results. Check out those products. Cholesterol Care, if you want to help reduce your cholesterol, this is an ingredient proven to lower cholesterol. The reviews on this say that, yeah, look, 500 five-star reviews. It's a joy to do these shows with Andrew, because the difference it has in people's lives is extraordinary. It's wonderful.
And when it comes to Cholesterol Care, it's something that I think most people don't recognize. I think we've sort of wrapped our brain around the fact that the only way we see any significant change in our health is if we're relying on a drug company, on a pharmaceutical company. We certainly see the advertisements when you watch TV all the time.
Right.
But our diets are, very powerful. Most doctors will say that most of half our risk of cancer and half our risk of heart disease or more is attributable to diet and lifestyle. So there's powerful control that we have over our risk of disease. And that's what I really like to emphasize is how much influence we have over the quality of our life and the quality of our health. We just have to make and choose to make those right decisions.
We're going to head over to Cinnamon, but if you have anything to say to Andrew or any questions you want to ask Andrew, call us 1-866-376-8255. Or, of course, you can also find us on our Facebook live stream on HSN's page. I can see everything and everybody. I'm trying to keep looking down and seeing what folks are saying, and if there's anything you want me to ask Andrew, please go for it. It definitely helps if it can be about the item that we're on at the moment, but we'll do the best we can. And Andrew's team, of course, are there answering questions as well.
And just a couple of questions. There were a couple of questions. On our Ultimate Eye Supplement, we have some green tea extract in our Ultimate Eye Supplement.
Right.
And someone was asking me, are there significant levels of caffeine in our Ultimate Eye Supplement? The answer to that would be no.
Right.
That the levels of green tea extract, the green tea extract that we use, which is principally, the green tea extract is 98% polyphenols. So it just effectively doesn't leave any room, practically speaking, for caffeine anyhow. So you don't have to worry about there being in our green tea extract any significant levels of caffeine at all. Also, someone's vitamin D level, they went and had it checked, and their vitamin D level was 12, and that's why I always recommend folks to check their vitamin D level, and that's extremely low. And they asked me if 5,000 IU daily was going to be adequate. Of course, initially, you start off with a higher level to get your vitamin D levels where they need to be, but depending on body weight, depending on body fat and body composition, typically somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 IU will be sufficient to get to a proper vitamin D level, blood level. And if you have higher body fat levels, if you're overweight or obese, you're going to have to increase that a little, so it's going to be something more like 3,000 to 6,000 or 7,000. But again, you need to get your vitamin D level tested, and your doctor can tell you.
Andrew, just a couple of quick ones. I don't know if, in fact, no, our producer's telling us just real fast we need to definitely talk about cinnamon. A lot of you wondering what this does, the benefits of this. Andrew, we didn't just go into the kitchen, open the cabinet and take some cinnamon and put them in a capsule, did we?
This is a very specific cinnamon extract. In fact, there's some, I noticed a question here that there's some information floating around on the internet about liver damage from certain forms of cinnamon. That would not be the case, obviously, with the form of cinnamon that we use. And our cinnamon, we focus this extract on the component that has been shown in the scientific research and clinical studies to help support healthy blood sugar metabolism. That's what this product is all about. You could use it if you want as kind of a cinnamon spice. I'll often open capsules on my oatmeal or my oat bran in the morning, or Muriel, when she makes her little kind of her soy latte at the house. Yep. She'll open a capsule on top of that as well. So it does still have a bit of the taste of cinnamon, but it's not, its focus isn't taste. Its focus is all about helping to support us in an area that most of us seek a little bit of assistance right now.
We're going to head over this way in just a second. Andrew, I don't know if these can be quick answers. I don't know what the questions really are, but it says, can you talk about, Patricia says, can you say anything about human growth hormone supplements that seem to be the rage now, like Severital or something?
I am not aware. There's all sorts of different branded supplements that talk about increasing human growth hormone. I'm not aware of a dietary supplement. Being more active, exercise, weight training, increasing our body mass level, that helps us increase our production, our inherent production of human growth hormone. You could always talk to your doctor, but and there's some hormone precursors that your doctor could recommend that don't involve actually injecting human growth hormone. But I'm not aware, and I'd be the first person to recommend it. If there were some, there are all these little herbs, like what is it? Tribulus terrestris. There's all these different herbs and botanicals that have been recommended in the bodybuilding industry to increase testosterone levels, to increase human growth hormone levels. And frankly, I haven't seen any credible research or science in that regard. Plus, frankly, when we look at IGF levels, and that's typically how we measure human growth hormone, the higher levels there are, I see a lot of science that talks about that increasing risk of cancer. So these are things that we do very cautiously and carefully, working with a doctor or an endocrinologist, that I really don't think should be the appropriate subject of dietary supplementation without the support of a physician in terms of monitoring what our actual growth hormone levels are. So
we'll head over this way. And another question, Andrew, a good one from Joe. I know you get this a lot. Can you use Cholesterol with cholesterol-lowering medicine?
Yeah, the first thing I'd said before is yes. Absolutely, they work by entirely different mechanisms. So if you're taking Cholesterol, you'll lower your cholesterol even more. So if you're taking cholesterol-lowering drugs, you still get just as much benefit from Cholesterol, just as much. In fact, well, you could read the reviews. You'll see hundreds of people that either eliminated cholesterol-lowering drugs, were able to avoid taking them, or were able to reduce the levels they were taking. Of course, that's done working with your physician, but absolutely, they work in your digestive system, whereas cholesterol-lowering drugs work by affecting an enzyme, HMG-CoA reductase, in your liver. And that's why you need to get blood tests, or should get blood tests frequently, to make sure liver function isn't being affected by those drugs. So they have a much more complicated mechanism. Cholesterol works by not being absorbed, basically. Cholesterol works by blocking the absorption of cholesterol, or even blocking the absorption, the reabsorption of bile salts. So it's a harmless mechanism in terms of cholesterol. So they work perfectly together if you choose to try them that way.
This show is flying by, folks, and we'll try and get to as many things as possible, I promise. I know everybody wants to kind of ask Andrew a question. He's a font of information. Cranberry is another one used for years and years, centuries as a traditional remedy.
Well, probably more than 1,000 years. And what's great, it's one of those ingredients like turmeric that you of course hear the traditional remedies, and how wonderful it is that when science digs in and validates the traditional attributes or recommendation of those traditional remedies. And cranberry certainly is one of those. And cranberry is one of those ingredients that it's often attributed, and certainly if you read the reviews of this product and how it discusses its impact on urinary tract health and bladder health, you almost start thinking, gosh, it almost kind of sounds like a drug or a medicine.
Right.
But no, drugs or medicines, like they act on different things. What this product works, how this product works and what it does, it works on the environment in your bladder, and it just creates an environment, just as say friendly flora creates a more hospitable environment for friendly flora and an inhospitable environment for unfriendly flora, unfriendly pathogens or bacteria. That's basically how cranberry works. It's the protective compounds in cranberry just have this unique attribute of making our bladder and urinary tract a better environment in terms of how we feel and how it functions. So it's not functioning as a drug at all. It's just creating a better, healthier environment, and we reap the benefits of that.
Andrew, Cindy asks, if you drink cranberry juice, you sometimes get a reaction. Will the cranberry nutrients make you react as well?
I'm not sure what reaction she might be referring to from cranberry juice. The only reaction I would know from cranberry juice is all the sugar it contains is maybe getting a sugar rush or a sugar crash. But I've been taking this product since we made it, and I have never noticed any reaction whatsoever to it. And if you read the reviews, of which there's hundreds to read, I'd say about 95, 96% of them are positive reviews, and I don't think there's a single review that talks about a reaction. All we do here is we take the best parts of the cranberry fruit, we eliminate the sugar and the things that we don't want, and we focus on the protective compounds that we want and that deliver and support and promote that healthier environment in our urinary tract and bladder.
Just a reminder, this is our birthday month. HSN turns 41 years old, and this is the end of Andrew's visit. His next visit is going to be in 3 months from now. So if there's something you see tonight, you are able to lock in those special prices. And of course, on all Andrew's products, you can take advantage of free shipping if you're ordering today. And of course, those wonderful savings that are there as well. So if there's something even that you're not seeing on the show tonight, you're more than welcome to shop online at hsn.com. We're going to head over this way.
After, I guess, midnight this evening, all of our birthday pricing goes away for 3 months.
It does.
So if you're close to reordering on anything, I always encourage everyone to reorder while we're here for birthday pricing and free shipping and handling on everything.
And I'll certainly remind everybody a couple more times as well in the next 30, 40 minutes, but truly, if there's something that you saw yesterday or last week or 2 weeks ago, all of that pricing is expiring tonight. So stock up. I know it's easy to let things get away with us and then we tune in or we log on tomorrow to hsn.com. It's like, hang on a minute. Andrew Lessman was on free shipping. It's only for the remainder of this evening. With that in mind, we're going to spend just a couple moments here with Andrew, a product you get bombarded with questions about, Ultimate Women's Wellness.
And it's one of those products that I sort of date myself when I talk about this product, because over 20 years ago, the law had changed as it pertains to supplements, that at one time, menopause and perimenopause, and I almost start, it's not funny to laugh at, but it's so hard to believe that at one time menopause and perimenopause were considered sort of a disease. So I couldn't talk about a supplement and its impact on the symptoms, the normal symptoms of menopause or perimenopause, because that would be talking about a disease. That changed about 20 or so years ago, and this is our product that is made to naturally deal with the normal symptoms, the hot flashes, the interruptions of sleep, the mood disruptions that can occur with menopause. And certainly the one thing I've learned in talking about this product for 30-some years is menopause and perimenopause are as unique and individual, say, as our fingerprints are. That no two women experience it in the same fashion. To some women, it's not a blip on their radar. To other women, it could be incredibly, incredibly disruptive. For some women, they might be experiencing perimenopause in their 30s. To others, it might not start into their mid-50s. So it's an incredibly individual experience. What we've done with this product is we've assembled the nutrients basically from the healthy Asian diet. They're these natural isoflavones that exert this mild hormone balancing effect. And I highly recommend that if you're challenged by perimenopause or menopause or even by difficult PMS, that you read the reviews of this product, that the reviews are like my circulation vein support for healthy legs. These are the two products where the reviews are the most passionate and the most compelling. And better than I can speak, certainly I could speak to the science on this product and why we went about formulating it in the fashion we did and delivering the levels of isoflavones we did, just emulating the Japanese diet. But the reviews on this product speak volumes.
Andrew, I don't know if you're aware yet, but apparently there's a new study come out from University of Hawaii about astaxanthin. Just asking if you know about it or if you could find out about it and share information.
There's been dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of studies on astaxanthin. I'm sure the study from University of Hawaii on astaxanthin, I'm sure I've read that study. I think the most recent study on astaxanthin that I read was actually talking about its benefits and its role in, I'm not sure if this is the one from University of Hawaii or not, for its role in potentially in protecting the skin, even though really the only way to protect our skin from sun and UV radiation is using sunscreen, preferably zinc oxide-based sunscreen. I am not a big fan. In fact, I'm a major detractor and critic of chemical sunscreens. So the only sunscreen I ever recommend is zinc oxide. A second choice, if need be, would be a little bit of titanium dioxide. But the chemical sunscreens, if they went away completely, I would celebrate that day. But in terms of astaxanthin, astaxanthin is a separate carotenoid that we make. We often talk about it when we talk about Ultimate Eye. Astaxanthin is the orange color that makes flamingos pink, that makes lobster and crab, their shells, orange. It comes from a specific microorganism, and that's also when we talk about omega-3s. The omega-3s, fish don't make omega-3s. Fish eat omega-3s in algae. So again, that orange color in lobster or in flamingos, it comes from a form of algae that those animals, those organisms eat.
Great information. So, you see, we learn something new every day with Andrew. Stay right there for Ultimate Women's Wellness. We're going to go over to the prostate now.
Right.
I'll rephrase that maybe.
And certainly what's exciting is every day I could publish another video blog talking about another study, important study that's published. Unfortunately, the only studies lately that make it into newspapers and things like that, and most of the mass media, tend to be negative studies about vitamins, even though the positive studies might outnumber them 20 or 30 to 1. I was just listening to someone interviewed on NPR about omega-3s, and I don't really like this show on NPR, but it was outrageously irresponsible in talking about the fact that omega-3s in fish oil could be undermining the fisheries of our ocean. And the fact the omega-3s that come in fish oil products are generally a byproduct of those fish being used for animal feed. Right. So the primary use of those fish are animal feed. It's not the supplements that are driving the consumption of that fish. And certainly for us, we still go about it responsibly. So it seems that because so many of us have adopted and embraced supplements, the only interesting media tends to be negative media. So maybe it's incumbent on me to do these occasional video blogs that emphasizes all of the positive science that's out there that doesn't warrant being talked about, because positive science doesn't get clicks on the internet.
Right.
And the only thing that gets clicks, which generates money and revenue for journalism, are things that are controversial, things that are not necessarily what we already know. So if another study is published that vitamin D is wonderful or omega-3s are wonderful, it's like, we don't really care. So it doesn't really get the media play.
Andrew, last question, and I know we're going to go into prostate support just real fast because this has happened a couple times. Joanne's asking about omega-3s and krill oil. Which should I purchase? Well,
krill oil is something that I am concerned about on an environmental level. Just as I talked about potentially eliminating our ubiquinol product because I don't think it's a good investment versus ubiquinone, krill oil doesn't have much science. Krill is also an organism that marine mammals depend on. And I'm not sure, unlike the fisheries, I'm not sure if krill oil can be fished without impacting marine mammals like whales and other certain types of seals, things like that. So I'm a little concerned about krill. And plus, like I said about as I said about CoQ10, the majority of the science on omega-3s is on fish oil,
right,
or even algal oil. It's not on krill oil. So I think, and krill oil is more expensive. You have to swallow more pills. So I'm seriously considering eliminating my krill oil product because I think it's an environmentally responsible decision. I'm reviewing it, I'm contemplating it, but I don't take krill oil. We have a krill oil product. It's as good a krill oil product as you'll ever see in the marketplace, but I take my Maximum Essential Omega-3. That's the best way in terms of the science to get your omega-3s.
Where else can you get this type of information, this type of open forum, open honesty as to everything? Andrew talking about here's krill oil. I hope that answers the question. Open and honest.
How many folks who manufacture products tell you not to take one of their products? Well, and I'm telling you probably not to take two of my products that I actually think that for two different reasons, I think they're better choices. And the better choices, guess what? My Max Essential Omega-3 to get per milligram will cost you less than half as much. My CoQ10 versus ubiquinol per milligram will probably cost you 20% as much. So, in fact, I'm recommending a path that, unlike most companies, that actually is much more economical.
We're going to head over this way, but I appreciate what William just said about this is very important information, and thank you, Andrew, for talking about it. And William's saying for everybody to share this information on your friends' timelines. We'd certainly appreciate that. This is truly valuable.
By the way, we didn't talk about prostate support at all. And which is such an important product. When I was on TV 20 years ago, I might have talked about how important it was, but it wasn't personally important to me. Right. So I don't know if the graphic is up there on prostate support. But for every man as he's aging, if you want to is sort of where we notice it as men as we get older is really our urinary function, not so much during the day, but even usually at night, those feelings of urgency at night. So it's a small capsule. You only need to take one capsule daily, but prostate support is one of those things. If you're a man and experiencing those moments in the evening where you're asleep and you have to wake up, and maybe more than once you have to wake up to empty your bladder, that's usually the bladder's relationship with your prostate, the influence the prostate has on our bladders. So as we get older, it's just something that goes with the territory for men. So it's prostate support, a great choice. If you know a man that's going through those issues, then it's very important that you recommend this product to them, or a product like it. It's just simply standardized extract of saw palmetto, and our product, of course. The prostate is something that all men, as they get older, just as women are very conscientious about their breast health as they get older, and making sure that they get the appropriate testing with their doctor periodically. Men, we need to be conscientious about our prostate. We also need to be conscientious also, of course, about getting about our colon and things like that as well. We can't postpone those sorts of things, because it's good to get the great news and go get it. You don't want to not do that kind of normal screening.
We're going to talk about strong and healthy bones and teeth with Andrew's calcium magnesium intensive care with vitamin D3, and most important of all, no stomach upset. Folks, this is a capsule, not a tablet. Andrew talked a lot about that earlier today. We know that it's not beneficial necessarily to be taking those rock hard tablets. A capsule, completely different, a more expensive process.
It's just unpleasant to take rock hard tablets, especially there's no better example than calcium magnesium. We have several reviews where folks have talked about their multivitamin, they've talked about their calcium tablets, where not only we've had some that have talked about their doctors see it on x-rays going through them, but we've also heard from many folks reviews where they're talking about seeing it leave their body, seeing it in their stool. So this is an ultrafine powder in a capsule. Calcium and magnesium are metals. They're technically considered metals. If you looked at a periodic table of the elements, they are grouped with the metals. Metals don't tend to be highly water soluble. So calcium and magnesium are not highly water soluble. As you can see, that capsule, when I open it, an ultrafine powder, now if I can open the capsule here, there we go. And again, imagine that compressed into a rock. These are all minerals. You compress this into a rock, and what you end up with is a rock. Right. What is a rock except a dense, small mass of minerals. So to think that that's an intelligent and a desirable way to deliver dietary supplements that are going to be usable, plus it is an absolute fact that unless these dissolve and go into solution, you can't absorb or use them. So why would someone choose to deliver them in a form which resists going into solution? When a vitamin company is making a product from these ingredients, those ingredients come to their factory as a fine powder. They have to turn it into a tablet. So they have to basically take those freely available ingredients and imprison them and make them unavailable. And then you have the work of dealing with that tablet and hopefully liberating them and making them available again, which is, as far as I'm concerned, undesirable and unpredictable.
We're going to go to vitamin K2. I know that there's a question just come through as well from Jeannie, which I'll get to. Vitamin K2, Andrew, also for bones and skeleton, again, a focus.
Well, where I really love vitamin K2 is not so much in terms of bones and skeleton, but in terms of our cardiovascular system. And there was a question asked earlier about certain nutrients need to be taken together. Vitamin D should be taken with calcium to ensure that calcium can be absorbed. Vitamin D is involved with calcium absorption. That's part of one of its many roles as a prohormone in our body. But they don't have to be taken at the same time. All you simply want is healthy vitamin D levels. You could take, say, you could take 15,000 IU of vitamin D one day a week, have healthy vitamin D levels, and when you take calcium, it's going to be managed appropriately by your body because the vitamin D is present. Ideally, it's better to take vitamin D on a daily basis. My point was the proximity of the nutrients to one another doesn't matter. The fact that you have healthy vitamin D levels when you introduce calcium, that's what matters. But most important for me is vitamin K2, MK7. If you're taking calcium, if you're taking vitamin D, even if you're taking neither of them, and you're getting all of your calcium from your diet, and somehow you're managing to get vitamin D from your diet as well, then you still need vitamin K2, MK7, because that is what ensures that calcium goes where it's supposed to go in your bones and stays there and doesn't go where it's not supposed to go, say your joints or arteries, and that's most important, the flexibility, resiliency of arteries. We don't want calcification of those tissues. So that's the importance of vitamin K2, MK7. Speaking of recent research, there was just a great study that I think in just a short period of time, just 6 months, because usually we think of diet and supplements to have really global benefits, it takes a while to observe them. We're not talking about, say, my healthy hair, skin, and nail product, but when we talk about health benefits, but in a short period of time, I believe it was 6 months, there was a significant change in the flexibility of arteries in folks who are getting vitamin K2, MK7.
Amazing, just amazing. And again, please, we encourage you to read those reviews online at hsn.com. It's fascinating to see what real life experience brings to the table, and what people have said over the years as they've been taking Andrew's vitamins. Just a reminder, all of this special pricing for our birthday month expires tonight at midnight. What did you see last week when Andrew was here, or the week before, that you didn't pick up or you wanted to get? The free shipping, the flex pays, the special deals are all about to expire, so make sure you get yours. And just real fast, Jen said something that I appreciate, I think you'll like. I've been taking many supplements for 20 years, over 20 years, and consider myself well educated in the way of what to take. But I have really learned a lot from Andrew in the past 9 months. So grateful. I'm glad you can now discuss all these topics on air with us. Please never stop educating us, which is wonderful.
Thank you. Well, that's my favorite thing to do. Yeah. If I could just do this and we didn't even have to have a graphic on the screen that a product was available, that would be even better. But that's what's great about the internet is it will provide that opportunity for me to create more digital content that's just information that answers questions, that just gives general health and wellness information. And when people stop me and talk to me, they generally are not asking me questions about supplements as much as they're asking me questions about their diet and their lifestyle. Yeah. And I think that's what we care about most. There are some quick questions here. Meredith Fowler asked, is it better to take supplements at night or in the morning? Obviously, if you're taking something like nighttime, you take it at night before you go to sleep. But other supplements, you can take them whatever period of time works best for you. I generally divide my supplements between breakfast and lunch. But whatever period of time works best. For some folks, B vitamins can be a little bit stimulatory at the end of the day. They don't impact me at all, but for some people it can, so then better to take those earlier in the day. But I prefer to take them with food, so that's the best time. But as I always say, whenever works best for you, whenever you'll use them most consistently, because like a medicine, compliance is where you get the best results. So when you use them daily, that's when you experience the best results. What is the difference between vitamin D from sunlight and from a capsule? Unfortunately, from vitamin D from sunlight, it comes with it the risk of potential damage to your skin. Unfortunately, as we get older, we produce vitamin D from sunlight far more inefficiently. It's hard to achieve healthy levels of vitamin D from sunlight. We don't expose much of our body. We're usually using sunscreens. So as much as I'd like to say that ideally, if we're running around naked out in nature, we're going to get plenty of vitamin D, but we don't do that anymore. Plus, most of us live in areas where the climate 6-7 months of the year isn't all that desirable in terms of being able to go outside and get exposure to sunlight. So to avoid damage to our skin and vitamin D3, it's ultimately the same compound. So it is bioidentical, it is the same compound, and ultimately it achieves the same thing we seek to achieve, which is a healthy blood level of hydroxyvitamin D in our body.
We're going to head over this way.
And one more as we walk over.
Please.
Suzanne Horton asked, are there any plans to make a children's vitamin? The answer is absolutely, and we'll have it soon. I didn't want to make a tableted children's vitamin because it requires additives, and I don't like additives, least of all to children or animals. So what we're going to do is it'll be a little mini packet. We're working on using some of our berry extracts that are from our fruitful antioxidants and things like that, or cranberry or pomegranate. And we'll be able to mix our vitamins. We've gotten so good at vitamins from our secure meal replacement. We'll be able to mix it in a little beverage. We'll be able to use a special sweetener that pretty much only we're going to have, that's a special version of stevia.
Oh, wow.
So a natural sweetener. So it'll come in a little sugar packet, and it'll be a children's multivitamin, and it will be absolutely delicious. So that's something that's coming in the future.
See, lots to look forward to. Andrew hears and sees everything, folks, that I know you request of him and things that you'd love to do. And I know you're passionate about doing all of it.
And we've been working on that for only a couple of decades. so as they say, a product, we don't bring something to you before it's time. We do it patiently. And when I'll be in Nevada next week, and I'll be tasting a number of these products. So hopefully we're getting very, very close. And it would be something, because that's one of the things, whether it's products for pets. Yeah. I don't want tablets with additives for pets. So I want to do the exact same thing. It'd be like a little sugar packet. You empty that little sugar packet in your dog's food, and your dog has what they need. Well,
talking of stories in a long time coming, there's a big story behind circulation and vein support that Andrew will get to. I can tell you, talk about see the difference, feel the difference product. This is a prime example. This is a product that even having read the clinical science and the clinical studies, it's easy to understand why this product is so effective. But I can't help but be moved when I read the reviews. And that's why I encourage everyone to read the reviews on this product. This is an ingredient that about over 20 years ago, we had to go through the process of bringing this ingredient over to the U.S. because this ingredient was not as natural as it is. It wasn't available in the U.S. In fact, it was available in Europe, but it was treated differently. Although a natural ingredient in Europe, they decided to treat it at that time. It's since changed, but at that time, they decided to treat it and put it in products that were treated as drugs, medications, and recommended by doctors for the healthy circulation of their patients' legs, making all sorts of kind of medical claims for it. We don't make medical claims for it. It's simply a product that deals with the inevitable experience we will all have as we get older, as we go through our normal days, that the blood vessels in our feet, ankles, and calves, they tend to enlarge. Those tissues tend to enlarge and they swell. If we have health issues or taking certain medications, it could only make it worse. If we're overweight or obese, can only make it worse. So this is a product that really allows us to, as I often say, turn back the clock. And it's one of those products, sort of like our healthy hair, skin, and nails, that I think we should all be healthy skeptics when it comes to every product I make. But this product, it's 2 capsules daily, and you will be astounded at the difference you experience in just a few weeks, let alone in 30 days. Well, I can tell you, just fascinating. to see the response to this. Out of all the wonderful things we've done so far tonight, this is our fastest selling item. I think a lot of you perhaps have heard Andrew talk about circulation and vein support over the years. In fact,
we're just reordering it before the birthday price goes away.
That could be it. The rush is on for that. But even things like this, Andrew, William says, I've been taking circulation now for over 25 years. Great supplement.
Yep.
It comes with a history. People love this.
No, this is a product that, and how many of us use any product for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. There are so many folks who use our products and have used them for over 30 years. I started making vitamins 39 years ago. I would say there are, and it's interesting now that QVC and HSN are one, so it's because well, I started at QVC.
Indeed.
And I guarantee there are tens of thousands of folks are probably watching who have been using the supplements since those days, 25, 26, 27 years ago, 28 years ago. So,
well, in fact, Andrew, this is from Olga. Olga's been with you for 30 years. Thank you, the best. Keep up with the dedication and fabulous product. God bless you. I mean, there's so many people that have listened to Andrew and heard what Andrew's had to say. And again, it's information. As Andrew will stand here and tell you, he doesn't mind if nobody buys anything in this show. All he truly cares about is getting across the facts, the information.
HSN might not invite me back, but my real goal is, as I've always said, and the credit goes to the gentleman who was at I didn't want to go on TV. Back 28 years ago, 29 years ago, I didn't want to go on TV. It's not what I did. It scared me to death. And so at the time, I figured the perfect way to avoid going on TV is I said, I don't want to sell. I just want to educate. So I refuse to sell. I'm only going to educate. And I won't care if anyone buys. And so the gentleman's name was Doug Briggs. He says, good. That's what we want people to do. We want people to educate. And I'm like, oh, great. I guess
couldn't get out of that one.
No, but it's so for me, the most important thing I do, and I've recognized for all the time I've been on television, for every bottle that someone might try of mine, people go online or they go to their Walmart or Target, whatever, and they do the best they can to find something that might be similar. And hopefully, eventually, they end up with us to really be fully satisfied with the product they get. But the information I provide, I know fuels curiosity and fuels a desire to be empowered and do something for our health. So I'm quite happy if people try to find the best supplement they can at their pharmacy or at whatever store they go to.
It's funny, I'll tell you, because being here 10 years now, and you know, coming to America, I'd never known of Andrew. And then I used to see Andrew on TV when I'd come into the building and think, who's this guy? What's he doing? What's all these vitamins?
Blue shirt.
He loves those blue shirts. He is now a fashion icon here at HSN.
Yeah, fashion icon, yes. That's me.
You do the research and you discover that Andrew is above and beyond, and that's why it's a joy to do these shows. Andrew, you talk about joyous. Reading through the reviews, there was a couple of comments that stood out to me. Life-changing was used time and time again with regards to this.
This product, when we like to focus on sometimes the words that are chosen in reviews, because they seem so surprising, not inappropriate, but surprising, where you'll see words like over 1,000 times, you'll see words like love on a product like this, or life-changing. And as I've often said, this is one of those products, I love to talk about the benefit of the benefit. It's something that a gentleman at QVC back almost 30 years ago, Steve Bryant, used to always talk about, that it's more than the benefit of, say, this reducing, at the end of the day, the swelling that you feel or see in your leg, or the agitated feeling, the restless feeling you have in your leg. The real benefit isn't that. The real benefit is the benefit of that benefit, because maybe you go out dancing, maybe you go to the movies, maybe you go to the gym, which is a review I read the other day, that it transformed someone's workout regime. And that was the benefit of the benefits. So again, it increases someone's ability to lose weight because it allows them to become more active, or they spend more time with their grandchildren, or another review was they spend time crawling around on their floor with the grandchildren. Right. So those are the benefits of the benefit. And I think certainly we seek the benefits, but our life is made richer by the benefits of those benefits.
There's a lot of benefits all around. I think we can all agree on the benefits. Yes. We're excited that you're seeing the benefit of this show. We're going over this way. giveaway. Just 20 minutes left to get through. A lot of great things, and also a couple products now that are not typically seen on television. We're going to be talking a little bit about our tummies, our stomachs, our digestion. And let me tell you, this is on the table of virtually every host here at HSN. Breath Plus gets very little airtime and is an amazing product.
It's a great product because most of us will be cognizant of, say, brushing or flossing, oral hygiene, but we also are cognizant of the fact that if we have coffee, if we smoke, if we have garlic, if we have spicy foods, that the contents of our stomach are, what, 10 inches away from our mouth? So how naive of us to think that those contents won't affect our breath, especially because after we eat, the contents of our stomach, what we've eaten, remains in our stomach for the next, say, 3 to 5 hours. So what this product does, it's basically Mother Nature's little room deodorizer, and that little room is your stomach. It's parsley seed extract, it's spearmint extract, and it's peppermint extract. So it serves two purposes. It's both naturally settling for the stomach, but it's just a natural breath freshener. And for many of us, depending on if we might struggle with our breath, for some of us it could be issues in our mouth, it could be probiotic issues, so we need to make sure that we have a proper complement of friendly flora, both orally and in our digestive system. And certainly with this product, when we're talking about our gastric contents, whether it might be morning breath, we have a lot of reviews that talk about taking a capsule before they go to sleep, and it makes a difference with morning breath.
There's a lot of, I remember last time we had this, which I think with Andrew and I was a year ago or so, there's a lot of people that have various breath products, and if you look at the ingredients, it's like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant, brilliant. If you are working with people all day and every day, if you're getting up close with people all day and every day, maybe you're a realtor and meeting people at houses, that, you know, I mean, in any kind of social situation or business situation, try this product. I know there's only like 10 seconds on it, but it is phenomenal. Don't forget, free shipping and FlexPay and very good value on it.
By the way, we probably we'll end up having talked about, I don't know, 25 or 30 products, and then plus the other products we spoke about because of the questions. Well, this will probably be the world record for products in any hour in TV retail.
We did it, Andrew.
Probably 3 or 4 dozen products, yes.
Well, there's the Breath Plus again.
Breath
we
Plus.
do see you there. I can't recommend that enough.
And that's been a product we've had for about 30 years. The next product I think we're going to do is Bean and Veggie Gas Relief. This is a product that I still remember
Always
when we
gets a
first
chuckle.
developed this product. Well, it gets a chuckle because I was the first guinea pig for this product. Scientifically, that I knew that the ingredients in this product were enzymes that tend to break down and digest the fructooligosaccharides that are present in cruciferous vegetables or beans and other sorts of foods that cause gas. So if you break down those chemical structures, the fructooligosaccharides, you reduce or eliminate their gas-forming potential. So the way I tried this product, this is back in the day when I was helping to coach my goddaughter's soccer team, that I figured before we went to the game, I had 2 large bowls of black bean soup and 2 large bowls of pea soup. And I figured that would be the ultimate proof. And of course, my goddaughter was warning everyone on the team to keep a safe distance away from me because God knows what was going to happen. But of course, it was the ultimate test that the product, the enzymes in the product actually performed as they were supposed to. But I don't recommend trying that at home. It was just an interesting experience at the time, and that was probably about, I would say that was at least 15 years ago. So this is a product that we rarely speak about on air, but it's another customer pick, a product that has taken on online in the digital universe a life of its own.
So then final piece of this particular puzzle for dairy and lactose tolerance. There's a lot of talk about this.
And with the bean and veggie, another thing that excites me about it, I love legumes and beans.
Right.
I love cruciferous vegetables, and there are so many people out there that struggle with them for those digestive issues. So it's worth a try just to see if it works for you, because then you could reincorporate these healthy foods into your diet, which would be fantastic. Dairy and lactose tolerance, there are several products on the market. Again, it's an enzyme, and it's an enzyme that's designed to basically digest the offending component, and that offending component is lactose. So it's a very straightforward product. It's a little 2-piece capsule. For some folks, what they do is they open up that capsule It's this little capsule here. They'll open up the capsule and they might put it into milk or cream, but the best thing to do is when you're having any of those foods, you just have to have it, and you can see it's an ultra fine powder, which ensures it goes to work immediately. You just have to have it at the same time that you're consuming those foods, either just before, say within 30 minutes of starting that meal, or within, say, 30 minutes to an hour of finishing that meal, when it comes to bean and veggie gas relief, or when it comes to dairy and lactose. As you can see, those ultrafine powders will be available within moments to go to work. That's why I can never understand those products when they're in tablets. To digest a tablet that's supposed to help you immediately digest something you already ate, it doesn't seem like the best way to go about it.
You know, we talked about being skeptical in life, and you know, it's healthy to be skeptical about what we see. It's also astonishing how trusting many of us are when we see the glossy advertising, the marketing out there. It's easy to be pulled in, Andrew.
Well, I think for me, we were talking before about the fact that, you know, all of us will sometimes hope and will try anything once. And I think that's something that's human nature. We want to trust, we want to be able to trust, even though I think sometimes the world of the internet has told us we have to be careful. But what I'm most proud of here at HSN, our products have by far the lowest return rate.
They do.
And by far the highest reorder rate. That I'd probably say any single product we feature during a visit, I'd say minimum 90%, likely higher, are reorders. So for me, that's the testament to a product. Anyone, and certainly not the case with me, but folks will say what they need to say to encourage you to try their product. For me, I try to give very objective information because I don't want you to try the product as much as I want you to feel you are informed to try the product, so then you'll continue to benefit from it in the future. You don't need to be sold to try something. You need to be educated and informed to decide to try something.
And on that note, we're going to head over to a product that often gets a lot of grunts and groans and growls from folks when you talk about fiber products, Andrew. Yours is different, right?
Well, when we talk about lately, the glamour product in terms of digestive health tends to be probiotics. And we'll talk about probiotics in a second. I think fiber ours is really affordable. To a lot of people, fiber's just not exciting.
Right.
To me, our digestive system cannot, not to me, anyone will tell you that fiber is an absolutely integral part of a healthy diet. And if there's one thing that studies of the American diet show, that even the minimal levels, and I think the levels of fiber that our government says we should consume are, I think, about half of what we should consume. And I probably consume 3 or 4 times more than they recommend. Wow. But even at those low levels that are recommended, most Americans don't come close.
Right.
And so it's no wonder we struggle with regularity and we struggle with our digestion, because also, guess one thing that fiber delivers? Fiber delivers the most important food that our friendly flora love to eat.
Right.
So if you want to have well-nourished, happy, and friendly flora, you want to eat a diet rich in fiber. So that's the key to accomplishing that. And unfortunately, most of us eat a diet that's devoid of fiber. Most of the fiber products on the market are extremely unpleasant to use. Even the ones that are beverages nowadays, they tend to be fiber that is processed fiber. It's like a synthetic fiber. If you can mix fiber with water and it looks perfectly clear, it's generally something like maltodextrin, which really isn't a natural fiber. This is natural fiber. It's extremely mild. It doesn't cause gas or bloating. Again, read the reviews. It's virtually unanimously, positively reviewed product.
Andrew, Yvette says, I read an article that you should take fiber separate from your other vitamins. Is this true?
No. It's certainly not with my fiber. Again, if we think about things, when are we supposed to take vitamins? We're supposed to take vitamins with meals. Why do we take vitamins with meals? Because that's when our digestive system is most receptive and stimulated to absorb the nutrients that we deliver in meals. When do we normally get fiber? We get fiber with meals. So also, I'm not one of those folks that recommend that you take a handful of these capsules. This fiber is potent, yet mild. So you're talking about, with a meal, taking 1 or 2 capsules, 3 at most with a meal. So you're not talking about taking fiber like a drug that could interfere with the absorption of certain, sometimes they'll say fat-soluble nutrients, but it would not be the case with this product. Our Fiber Mucil, take 1, 2, 3 capsules with a meal. Absolutely no issues whatsoever with the absorption of the key nutrients in your supplements or in that meal.
So, Andrew, what are some of the consequences if we're not actually getting enough fiber? What does that do to us, other than the obvious?
Well, I would just say you walk down the the over-the-counter drug section of a supermarket or pharmacy, and you get an idea. Fiber is necessary for healthy digestion. Fiber is essential for regularity. If we want to talk about even cardiovascular risk, those of us who eat more fiber, go figure, have lower lifetime risk of cardiovascular issues. So fiber is healthy for our cardiovascular system. It's obviously healthy for our colon. So if we want to have long-term health of our digestive system and colon, then we eat a diet that's richer in fiber. And foods that are richer in fiber are also richer in nutrients, and they're also lower in calories. So fiber-rich foods are the secret to a weight loss diet, because when you eat those fiber-rich foods, you're getting more fiber and less calories and more nutrients. So again, fiber, it's sort of the keys to the kingdom when it comes to digestive health. And the best source of fiber, this is the best fiber supplement you're ever going to find, but an even better source of fiber is just making sure that fiber defines the foods that we eat. And as much as I do that on a daily basis, I still consume 1 or 2 capsules of this with each meal.
I hope that answers your question. If you've got more questions about Fiber Mucil, of course, you can go online, hsn.com. We're going to go this way. Just a reminder, if you want to connect with Andrew outside of HSN, wordsonwellness.com is a great place, a great destination to do it.
And I'm going to try to now post, now that we'll have some time off, I'm going to try to post some more video blogs, where and the more questions that you provide us, the more it gives me an opportunity. And then we could take those blogs and make those video blogs available as you've requested. So we could have, if there are 50 most frequently asked questions, we'll make sure that we take little segments of those videos to answer all your questions. Or if you have friends who have questions, you could always refer them to a video. So my goal is that no question goes unanswered. That's my goal.
And that's what we love doing this for. It really is. Our producer just reminded my ear, we have a 10-minute warning. It's unfortunately, it's the final 10 minutes with Andrew for 3 months. If you're looking for special pricing on any of Andrew's products, they are expiring today. And of course, the fabulous free shippings and the flex pays. Steve's telling me that Friendly Flora has been a very popular selection the past couple days.
Oh, our Ultimate Friendly Flora has become our Friendly Flora and our Ultimate Friendly Flora have always been popular products, but now I think the real popularity has come from the fact that I'm not the only one speaking about probiotics.
Right.
For a couple of decades, I was, but now, and certainly there are a number of people in the know who, the moment I spoke about it 15 years ago or so, they were excited. So now all of like the mass market companies, there are big companies talking about probiotics and talking about Friendly Flora. They tend to make rather impressive claims, the kinds of claims that I won't make in terms of digestive health. Even though I might feel certain of these claims are warranted, I just get uncomfortable lavishing too much praise on a supplement. As we heard before, when someone was making a testimonial about a product, yes, I enjoy reading that or hearing that, but I'd rather be more conservative and let the product speak for itself.
Yes.
And what we've done here with this product, it's 25 billion colony-forming units per capsule. We selected the form and the strains of the probiotic, of the Friendly Flora, based upon the science and the research. Very, very, as you look here, if you went on the research and you plugged in any of those names, if, say, you're videotaping this, you could, or take a screenshot. If you just went online and did some research on Lactobacillus acidophilus, Lactobacillus plantarum, Lactobacillus salivarius, and there are dozens of different strains, Bifidobacterium lactis, kind of like a multivitamin. These are the foundational strains of probiotics that that have the greatest scientific validation over, say, the last decade or two. And then there are all sorts of interesting ones for different purposes, but this is really the foundation of a healthy probiotic right here.
So who is this for, Andrew? What benefit will I see?
It's for all of us. That unfortunately we live in a world that's a sterilized world. Right. Beyond our taking antibiotics periodically and oftentimes too frequently, and antibiotics only work for us if we have a bacteria that requires them. All too often we take them when we have viruses or things like that, which antibiotics have no impact on viruses, just on bacteria. But, and again, our food supply. Antibiotics are just ubiquitous in our food supply. So what happens, and we sanitize our homes with all sorts of cleaning products, antibacterial this and antibacterial that. So the next thing you know, we live in this world that no longer has any pathogens, any negative, adverse, unfriendly bacteria, but we've also wiped out all the friendly flora, the friendly bacteria as well. And in a healthy person, our cells should be outnumbered by our cells. The trillions of cells in our body should be outnumbered by the friendly flora that occupy or live with us, whether in our digestive system, whether in our immune system. So that friendly flora is a critical part of a healthy immune system, a critical part of a healthy digestive system. And if we don't have a healthy complement and a healthy balance, those systems cannot function as they were intended. They cannot function well.
Well, we're going to end over this way with, I believe, our final item.
How could this almost be over?
I can't believe...
What's so funny, it's been a long several months for me, and truth be told, I'm rarely ever tired, and I was feeling a little lower energy when I got here.
It's understandable.
But what's funny is it's just talking about all these. I can't help but get excited. I'll sleep like a baby tonight. So I'll probably go to sleep in the green room the minute we leave. But no. But it's just exciting to cover so many questions, to cover so many products, and it just reminds me that we're merely scratching the surface with the questions people have. And as someone recommended in an earlier question, that I think it's very important that more than just supplements and the science on supplements and the ingredients that we choose, it's important that I share, because I read just as much about lifestyle, I read just as much about diet, share little pointers that I was talking about before about a healthy brain. A healthy brain is more than any ingredient I put in a supplement here. A healthy brain has to do with a whole range of other things we do, and that's just important. That'd be a really important and exciting what were you saying I should do earlier? That
a podcast.
A podcast to talk about just simple lifestyle things that we could all incorporate to have a healthier brain.
I just appreciate good information, and I know you do as well. And we don't all know everything. So when somebody's a leader in their field, and Andrew really is in this world, it's important and exciting to hear him talk. We wanted to end on this. Sorry, you're going to say?
And, yeah, normally this is a product that we talk about, because normally this is a product we can't keep in stock beginning around September.
Yep.
So we just wanted to, in advance, because sometimes in the summer, there's also things that we do that might undermine the health of our immune system. And as I say with this product, there's no cure, there's no nutritional supplement or dietary supplement that's a cure, prevention, or anything for the common cold or flu, notwithstanding what other companies might say. But the only tool we have and the only defense we've always had is our immune system. So what this product was intended to do, when we might do things that are adverse to our immune system, this is a product that's intended to support our immune system. I'm someone, so after long weekends like this, a couple of weekends in a row like this, when I might not be getting as much sleep as I normally get, that's when I know that my immune system becomes vulnerable.
Yes.
And that's when I know that I do things to support it. Adequately hydrate, and then I'll do my best to get plenty of sleep now.
It's funny because Colleen Lopez, who you saw with Andrew just last night, but was it last night?
Yes.
I'm confused there.
Yes.
But Colleen is the one that turned me on to this originally. We wanted to end the show with Immune Factors because it's such an important product and a lot of people swear by it. And just as Steve said, our producer, get ahead of the game by getting it now.
And it's a product that evolved. That product, 39 years ago, my immune support product was vitamin C and B complex.
Right.
Then it became vitamin C, B complex, and echinacea. Vitamin C, B complex, echinacea, and golden seed.
Right.
And then we added a mushroom complex, and then we added astragalus. And now we're looking at actually adding another ingredient or two in the future. So it's the perfect demonstration of a product, and we've even changed recently the mushroom complex. It's the perfect demonstration of how my products have evolved over almost 40 years of creating them. And it's a product that surprisingly enough, is really almost perfectly reviewed.
Yes.
I think it's about 4.6, 4.7
4.8.
4.8 stars, so probably 96% or more positive reviews. So it's a product that it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and what it does is it deals with our only defense we have, and that's our immune system. So the only thing we could do is try to do things that support it.
And Andrew, one a day?
That's a multivitamin that I don't make.
And you said you were tired. You're on the ball.
But no, this is a product. The way I take this product is I take it, like now, weekend like this, I take it. So I take it as a very specific and intentional support to my immune system. Many people take it on a daily basis, and that's what you'll read many reviews of people who do just that. And it can be taken in that fashion. But for me, the way I take it is I'll take it at those times where I know that I'm sort of burning the candle at both ends, as I've been doing the last couple of weekends. So that's when I take it.
If you can, you should really order this one. It's on the hit list. We've been through a lot and gone through a lot, and Andrew shared with us a lot of information today and obviously the past few weeks. If there is anything that you did not buy that was on your list, the pricing all expires today. On hsn.com, you can search for every single one of Andrew's products. Don't forget, the free shipping also expires today.
Plus, I wanted to say one thing that I've been asked a few times recently. Everything we make is made with solar energy. We even offset the carbon footprint of the shipments. So we're entirely environmentally responsible. Plus, I'm asked, we donate 3 bottles for every bottle you order. We do that when I'm here, but we do that all the time too.
Look at this.
So we do it all the time. So we've donated almost 1 billion, or we've donated over 1 billion doses of prenatal vitamins. So and thanks to you, we're able to be environmentally responsible and socially responsible, which makes me proud.
It's a win-win-win all round. We're also very thankful for everyone who joined our show tonight on the phone, on Facebook. Andrew, we'll see you soon.
Thank you for the questions.
3 months from now.
3 months from now, but we'll do some video posts.